Hi, my name is Donnie Walton. I am a soon-to-be graduate of Azusa Pacific University's Digital Teaching and Learning program. I enrolled in APU's Education and Technology program as a way to continue and push my education after completing my credentials. I saw it as a great way to strengthen my resume and push myself further as an educator. Through APU, I have learned that I prefer a hands-on teaching approach as well as a hands-on learning approach. This program has really helped me to see all the possibilities there are with modern-day technology in the classroom. I have learned to edit video, pictures, build websites, create blogs, and much more, all in a way that is functional for the modern-day classroom. The completion of this program will mean a lot to me. Not only will I have a stronger resume, but I will have a great feeling of accomplishment. I never pictured myself as one to go to college, let alone get my credentials as well as my master's degree. Using my newfound skills from APU, I've created the following 4th grade social studies unit covering the California Gold Rush. This unit is built on California 4th grade standards and was created using the principles of Bloom's taxonomy and Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences. Bloom's taxonomy is a hierarchy of learning objectives that many teachers use to ensure students gain a complete grasp of all concepts. The first stage in Bloom's taxonomy is knowledge, or remembering. In this stage, students learn to recognize and recall specific terms, facts, and ideas. A good example of this foundational level of learning can be seen in the Gold Rush unit. Students will move from station to station to watch introductory videos on the Gold Rush. The next level of Bloom's taxonomy is comprehension. Here, students demonstrate understanding of main ideas by organizing, comparing, and interpreting new concepts. In the Gold Rush unit, students will demonstrate their comprehension by contrasting the reasons why people traveled to California and why some stayed home. Their ideas will be shared on the classroom blog for all to read. The next step in Bloom's taxonomy is application. Here, students will solve problems to new situations by applying what they have already learned. In the Gold Rush unit, students will demonstrate this level of understanding by working together and playing the Gold Rush game. The game is a model of the Gold Rush, and it focuses on the needs of miners and the roles of businessmen. The next level is analysis. Here, students will examine and break information into parts and make inferences and find evidence to support their ideas. A great example of analysis can be seen in this unit. Students will need to write a letter as if they lived in the 1840s. They will create a list of reasons why they did or did not move to California. The letters will be typed and added to the classroom blog. One of the last steps in Bloom's taxonomy is evaluation. Here, students will need to present and defend opinions by making judgments about information, validity of ideas, or quality of work based on a set of criteria. For this, students will work in small groups to write a persuasive speech trying to convince others to come to California during the Gold Rush. They will record themselves giving this speech and share it with the class. The final and perhaps the most important level of Bloom's taxonomy is synthesis. Here, students will compile information together in a new and creative way to show what they have learned. In the Gold Rush unit, students will have many chances to create. One example comes at the end of the unit, when students will write a fictional story on the class website, imagining and predicting what a modern-day gold rush would look like if gold was discovered in an undeveloped place, such as the moon. Gardner's multiple intelligence theory will also play a major part in the planning of this unit. This will ensure that students of all different learning types and abilities receive the differentiated instruction that they need to best learn. Gardner believes that each student has different strengths of learning. This unit will focus on each of those major strengths. The first of Gardner's learning strengths is linguistic. These are students that do well with words, both spoken and written. One assignment in the Gold Rush unit that will suit the needs of these types of students will be a speech. Students will need to write a speech to persuade others why the Gold Rush was a good or bad thing for California. They will have to use resources to back up their reasoning. Another one of Gardner's learning strengths is logical mathematical. This area has to do with reasoning, logic, and numbers. It's most often kids that do well in math. In this unit, students will need to create a gold claim. Their claim must be a specific area, and it will be their job to figure out the best way to do it using perimeter. For this, the students will be allowed to use a GPS measuring device to best create their claim. One of Gardner's most common strengths is that of the visual learners. Visual learners do best by seeing information. Because so many students do well as visual learners, it is something that is seen commonly throughout this unit. Students will watch a video from discoveryeducation.com. They will find the main reasons for the gold rush and why it happened. Students will then take those ideas, create a mind map, and have a visual organizer of why the gold rush happened. Some students may also be musical learners. This area has to do with sensitivity to sounds, rhythms, tones, and music. During this unit, students will develop a musical commercial trying to convince people to come to California for the gold rush, and then record it to a CD or MP3. Gardner points out that some students may also be bodily kinesthetic learners. The core elements of the bodily kinesthetic intelligence are control of one's bodily motions and the capacity to handle objects skillfully. These are students that normally do well in PE or any kinds of hands-on activity. These types of learners will enjoy a hands-on activity in this unit where they will actually pan for gold using 1840s techniques. Another one of these intelligences is interpersonal skills. These students do best when working in small groups to come up with a common goal. There will be many opportunities in this unit to work as a group. One example of this is, as a team, the students will work together to design a new mining tool. The tool would have been used to help better reach gold during the gold rush. The final project will be created using Microsoft Art. The opposite of an interpersonal learner is an intrapersonal learner. These students usually do best working by themselves. One intrapersonal activity during this unit will involve the students creating a journal. They will act as if they lived in the 1840s and write a journal explaining their reasons for why they traveled to California, or the reasons why they did not. The final of Gardner's multiple intelligences is naturalistic. This area has to do with nurturing and relating information to one's natural surroundings. One project during this unit that would benefit the naturalist learner is going outside on campus, using their knowledge that they have about gold mining, and trying to find the best place on campus to set up a claim. Students will need to use factual information to justify their reasoning for placing their claim where they do. By using Bloom's taxonomy, Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences, and a great deal of technology, this is a solid unit for any 4th grade classroom. Thank you for listening to my presentation of the California Gold Rush for the 4th grade.